Next, we're going to take a look at the NFIP forms. We'll go back to one that we've created previously, John and Dodie Doe. Okay, we go in to the NFIP tab, and the first tab within it is preliminary report. You would click the plus button, which would fill in this information, and then we've got 5 tabs within that we can fill out, and this can be done easily on the iPad, just using your finger. The information up above is all populated from the loss notice and other information in the file. You click the appropriate fields here. You go to insurance, click them as appropriate. Go through the risk information. Finally, the origin information. Once you're done, click the preview, and you have the standard preliminary report filled in. Doesn't take long at all to do. Go to the final report. First to the, once again, you'd have to click the plus button to create a new report. Now that same report will that you click here would fill in for the proof of loss and the RC proof. So you filled in the, or you've created a new final report here. This information once again is filled in from the rest of the program. If for some reason this is a revised final report, you could enter that information here. Just type in revised or supplemental or whatever the case might be. Standard information you fill in as required. Go to the claim summary. The only real other input you have to do here is this information is filled in from the program by clicking the yes button. So if you got contents damage and the building damage, it will fill in here. Of course, if you had the pertinent unit, you clicked it, it would fill in here. It's going to fill in the same information from your coverage A loss here, and this would fill in the same information. Whatever you filled in for coverage B is going to show up in either of these, whichever of these two you fill in. If you had some additional information you had to fill in, let's see, that can be manually done here. Removal protection, you can manually fill that in. Salvage, you can manually enter that. Excess over limit should fill in from the program if you've entered it in the estimate. So once that's done, you would, whether this is an RC claim or not, you would select down here, and it will change your entry here. Then you go to excluded damage, fill this in, and you have your standard NFIP final report. The adjuster information is filled in from the defaults and settings table. Proof of loss is similar to the other proof, but it is the NFIP proof. It doesn't apply in this case, but if you had an RC proof, it looks like so. And the supplemental information will be filled in below. Got a narrative report which you can use for various information here. This is set up for equipment information. And you can do multiples. In this case, in other words, if you can use one for equipment and another one for, say, a statement or something else that you filled in here. In addition to these basic forms, which are generally used in most flood losses, we've got some miscellaneous ones which are used less often, and they are just filled in the form itself. If you need to fill in or fill out a NFIP adjuster's preliminary damage assessment form, it will let you know here. If you've already filled out the final report, the submittal determination will be shown here. Otherwise, if you haven't done the final and want to know, you can follow the instructions here and it will make a determination. Certification, if you are want to apply for certification after one of the workshops, the form is located here. You can complete the form here by just going in, and all of the appropriate information can be entered. And once you're done, it'll create a printable form which can be saved to PDF and emailed or printed out. Go back to that for a second. There's actually 2 pages to it, so. Then there's the ICC forms. To complete the ICC form, you go here, fill it out. Information that has already been entered in the database will show up, as you can see here, policy, terms, etc., date of loss. The rest of the information, you can manually enter it. Again, for the ICC proof, mobile home worksheets, we've got information here. This will show up as whatever diagram you've entered in the risk report will show up here. But you enter the information. Once again, information's already been entered will show up here. And finally, subrogation worksheet. So that's it for the NFIP forms. We'll take a break.